Hello everyone, I'm checking if I'm actually live. I guess I'm live. So, okay, let's check Facebook here. My phone does not want to work. Nothing is working today. Nothing. And it's one of those days where you're just like, what in the world? And usually, yeah, I can't even see it on here. There we go. So, oh, I think well, it's working. Now I can see it. Let me close my windows. So much noise here. All right. So, if you read the caption above me here, I say, can you see clearly now? And you're probably looking at like, oh, Shu has glasses. So I have glasses. Yes, I got glasses. And that was his first question. But he asked me, my kids, like, Mom, can you see now? And yes and no. I mean, I could see before. I'm still not seeing much different, although the glasses are helping with certain things. So with these glasses, I have things are a little clearer and there's not as they're not as double if you want to when I'm on the computer or reading. My eyes don't strain as much, so I can be on the computer a little longer. And I have the blue light thingy so that my eyes are not tearing. So there are benefits to the glasses, but the glasses are not fixing all my all my vision problems. So those who are new to me, just so you know, I had a um, health crisis 2.5 years ago. Had stroke symptoms and all of that. Couldn't talk, couldn't walk, and my eyes were out of whack. I couldn't literally, my eyes wouldn't even focus, and I couldn't. It was a mess. So, long story short, not even 2.5 years later, I still have issues with my eyes where things are darker for me. And that was a problem that I had before because of some family, hereditary stuff with my eyes, where things appear darker for me no matter what. But before I could drive at night, before the health crisis, I could drive at night and still be able to see some. Maybe not the best, but I could still navigate a little bit. Now I still, dark. What you might appear dark to you is darker to me. So imagine like maybe when it's I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock when the sun start going down, most people can still see, and it's like, oh, the sun is going down, but it's not as dark. But what you see at 6 o'clock is probably what my eyes, for me, it feels like it's 8 o'clock because it just looks darker. But then in addition to that, also because of how my optical nerve got affected through that the stroke slash brain injury slash whatever you want to call it. But through that, because my optical nerve got impacted back then, the way I perceive light is also it's just really weird. And then my eyes don't like look at the same level if you want. So it's not just I get the double vision, but even when things are adjusted, I have to literally on my computer I use all different accessibility stuff to make things bigger because I just can't see them as right. And then they have to be closer. It's all the and then even because of the light, like the screen on my phone, um, I don't know if you can see if I pull this here, but like if I open my email, for example, to look at my email, the background on my phone is darker. I don't know if you can see it. It's like black on white words. So the background on my computer and on my phone are black, and then the words are in white because that's how I can actually read it. Um, so there's all those things going on. So yes, the glasses help some with being on the computer. It helps with the glare that I constantly have. I don't have the glare. I don't. I can be here a little longer. I have less eye strain, but it still doesn't fix the fact that I can't see it well at night. It doesn't fix the fact that things still have to be bigger for me. It doesn't fix the fact that my eyes still perceive light differently and that my optical nerve is just my eyes are not aligned, so things are always like are not parallel when they need to. So there's all those things that this is just what it is, right? So I was just thinking today I was doing with something else, and usually most those of you follow me here know that I love being my simple self. I usually don't dress up for Facebook Facebook lives. So I was doing something like, yeah, I look presentable. I'm not gonna come here in my PJs, but I'm myself. I don't pretend to be someone else. Um, but usually I do that again just because people need to know that you don't have to be perfect, whatever you call perfect, in order to do what you were born to do, what are you called to do, what you feel like is yours to do, to make your impact and touch lives and help others. Being yourself is the most authentic thing that there is out there, but also the most helpful thing there is out there. It's easier for you to be yourself than anybody else. So yes, although I'm wearing glasses, back to the glasses story. Although I'm wearing glasses, it still is not solving all my problems. So I have a tool that's not solving all my problems, and I'm going somewhere with this. And this all transpired for me tonight because I was working on something. I had my day planned out. I like was supposed to leave my house this morning, drop off my kids at a friend's house, go to the office, get work done. And I got up, I got dressed, I got the kids ready. We got in the car and we couldn't find the keys. That was since 9 o'clock this morning. Right now it's 8:37 p.m. I still have no idea where my keys are. We torn the house apart. I mean, that kid's been look. I have three kids. My oldest is 14, so we've been looking all day. And then the lady who helps me clean, she came over. She was here, helping me clean, bigger stuff, windows and all of that. And she tore the house apart as well. She looked and looked for almost an hour, flipping bed. Literally took my mattress off the bed frame to see if things are underneath, and she still couldn't find it. Nobody could find it. And while all this is happening, I'm just like, okay, I can't go to the office. I had a meeting that I had to do with like six other people, for for work, and I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I'm gonna have to do it from home. It was virtual, so it worked out anyway. But my whole day got changed because everything I planned did not work. And it made me think again about how, again, we have all we life happens, right? We get all these things that happen to get piled on us, whatever it is, at the home, at the work, all these issues happen, and we do our best to make things work. We try to fix, quote unquote, what it seems to be the problem, and sometimes it just doesn't fix the problem. My glasses help me have less glare, and maybe it has a high eye strain. My eyes, but still, these glasses do not fix all the problems that I have with my vision. Hence the correlation I'm trying to make here. So same thing, the connection I'm trying to make. Same thing with my day. So it didn't end with the keys. So that was this morning. I still didn't find the keys. I end up staying home. I did the meetings I had to do at home. I called the friend, texted a friend who was supposed to watch my kids, and she actually, God bless her, she drove here to pick up my children. So at least I could do the meeting with less distractions. So I did the meeting all day long. We kept searching for those keys. Every once in a while, my daughter would come and check and look. I'm looking, nothing. And then this later this afternoon, I'm like, well, before the kids come, I was done with my work stuff, the things that I already had scheduled, the meetings and all of that. That was done. I'm like, well, I'll use this time before the kids come back to actually record a course that I've been trying to record for I don't know how many weeks now. Like I started, I have parts and bits of it recorded, and always something happened. I don't finish recording the whole course. So I sat on my computer, start recording. There was always something that went. I mean, I spent a good 2 hours trying to record the last three segments. Something always went wrong. If it was not like the camera thing keep dropping, or the video keep cutting off, or the sound was not working, like just something. And I'm like, what is it with this today? Like, what is it with everything I tried this did today, everything I planned, nothing had worked as according to my plans. And usually the old me will be so frustrated. I will be like literally in tears. I'll probably be pulling my hair out. And there's all other things that I can't even share here that happened today. I'm just like, seriously, I don't have patience for this today. But thankfully, I have people that I can talk to. I have friends that I can reach out to. Like, I just need to let this out. And then I was able to also like do the things that I need to do in order to ground myself. Prayer, listening to music, a little bit of journaling, little bit of what I call my nature therapy. Like I have such a nice view from my bedroom window. I just sit here and just watch the skies, watch neighbor's lawn that's always well done. Like honestly, I often joke. People say the grass is never green on the other side. Literally, in my house, that's a fact. Actually, the grass is always green in my neighbor's yard, because they do such a good job with it. But it's also this big open field, so I just get to enjoy, the sky and the sunrise and all of that. So long story short, I did all that I could to take care of myself emotionally because I couldn't control the fact that I couldn't find the keys. I couldn't control the fact that these glasses only fix partially fix, they don't even fix the issue. They help me, I guess, cope with my problem, my vision problems, but they're not fixing my vision issues. So I did what I could control. So, and after at the end, after spending almost 2.5 hours and not getting anywhere with the course, not getting anywhere with trying to find the keys, and I'm like, you know what? I guess I'm gonna sit here. I sat on my computer, just kept listening to music, and then I'm like, maybe I have to share this. Someone else might need this. Someone else might need to know that even after you tried everything, there are times where nothing works. And as much as it sucks, as much as it's hard, as much as it's frustrating, you need to remember that the only thing you can control is yourself. So like I said, can you see clearly? Like when you're trying to fix things, we can only see so much of a reality. Right. And I know, like, all these analogy, and again, my daughter told mom, you think too much. And I guess that's why I do what I do, right? Because I love to think through things. I love to process and reflect. But if you think about it, even through life, we can only see so much. Even when things happen to us, whatever it's happened right now, I can only see the fact that I don't have my keys still. And it rained actually earlier, and the seats in my car are pouring, like drenched in water, because again, my windows were down, and I don't have the keys to roll the windows up. And those are the times where you wish you had, a manual car so you can actually roll the windows up, but I don't have that. So anyway, so there's times where you can have all the best intention, create the best plan, and then the plan still fell short. Like the things just don't go the way you had planned. Now, what do you do then? If you remember that you can never see clearly, completely clearly, like you can, there's no human on earth can see the full picture of what's actually happening in the moment. No one. We only see what's in front of us. We only see a portion of what's happening. So that helps also, that for me, that helps me not just to cope with life, but also to appreciate some of the bad things that might happen. And I don't know what traffic was going to be like today. People are driving now. I guess, they all lifted some stuff. And, again, the people, we're in the yellow zone here. And people a lot of things are open. I don't know what traffic was going to be like. I don't know what could have happened if I left my house. I don't know what was on the highway. I don't know what was at the office. But somehow I choose to see the fact that I didn't find my keys, although it was something that was frustrating in the moment. Maybe even through all of this was God's protection for me. For some reason, I'm not saying that God took my keys or God made my keys get lost. No. But I believe that even in the worst case scenarios, even in the worst things that can ever happen in my life, that God always uses for something good. That He always has a purpose behind every little things that happen. He might not have been causing it. He's not the one that, made it happen, but He allows it in order to protect me for something, in order to, prevent something from happening, or in order to bless me in a different way. And because I can never see clearly, not on this earth, not with my human eyes or with my spiritual eyes, I have to admit and acknowledge that my God is still in control, even when I can't see the full picture. I still don't have my keys, and I pray that it doesn't rain again because my windows are still down, and we might be stuck home. We have what we need, and honestly, worst case scenario, we'll figure something out. But for right now, I don't have my keys, right? And I still don't know why I don't have my keys. I will find it eventually. But right now, I'm choosing to be grateful in this moment that why ever I didn't find my keys, whatever the reason is, that today I was exactly where I needed to be. That for some reason, one reason or another, I needed to be home. And I'm going to accept that. So when we don't, if we remember that we cannot see clearly, and we know that, God has more power and more control than any of us, and if we just allow Him to know, if we willingly surrender even those frustrating moments, those moments that don't make sense, if we surrender to Him, remember that He sees the full picture, and He still says that all things Yes, losing your keys, losing your job, losing your spouse, all things works for those who love the Lord. And I know I did not plan to come here live. And maybe again, all of this, maybe somebody needed this message. And maybe because if I didn't go through this the kind of day I had today, I might have not been inspired to do this message. These might be things that these are things that I know to be true and that I believed any day of my life. But the circumstances of today forces me to even take hold of these, take hold of this message even more. So what about this course that I've been trying to record and nothing works, and record it today again, everything just fell through. And as I was trying for I guess it felt like the 100th time to try to record one more segment, and I recorded stuff, and it just didn't, you know, it just didn't work well. And at the last attempt I made, I'm like, okay, something just has to give. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting something different. And I was telling this to myself, it's sure you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting something different. Like you just need to stop. So I stopped recording the course. I went back to my music, put worship music on again to ground myself because that's all I can control. And I was listening to worship music, and I was just like taking time to decompress, to let out some of the pressure that I was feeling internally. And it dawned on me, it's like as much as I want to record this course and make it live for everyone, this course persists. It's a course that I've been doing um, with people live, or either at the office, as a small group, or doing it online, but in lifetime, like where I'm with them on Zoom at the time we're doing it. And so as I got to my last attempt, I realized as much as I want to record this, the content of this course is not one that's it's not like it cannot be done independently. People can often they can really watch the videos and do it, but they won't benefit as much if they're doing it on their own, because the way it is, it's just the way it's set up, the content that's covered, you need someone to walk with you on that journey. So I'm like, yeah, there we are. As much as I've been trying to do this, and sometimes we do things with the right intentions. Sometimes we do things because we know and we feel and we think that others need it. And I've heard people say they need this and they want this, and I moved on trying to get it done. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't take a moment to sit down and pray, like, okay, God, is this the course you want me to record? And those of you who are watching, just like, okay, sure, you're getting too spiritual here, but it's we all have our own belief system, and I'm not here to those who know me know that I'm not here to scream my Christianity on people. I rather live it than preach it. But I also know that some of us need to hear this, that when we set our goals, that when we set our objective, we set those things that we want to accomplish, it can be the right thing, it can be the perfect, feel like the perfect thing, it has the right intention, it's all holy, it's all pure, it's all ethical, ethical, and all of that. There's nothing wrong with the thing in itself, but maybe just the way we're doing is not how God wanted you to do it. Again, we can never see clearly, never. Because as human, we are limited in our thinking, we're limited in our cognition, we're limited in our vision as it is. The little bit that I see here looked like it was good, but God, who has the bigger picture, for allow all of this to happen for a reason. And maybe you must look at you're way off, like you're really like spiritualizing every downfall in your life. And I remember being naive that way and trust that he still has something good for me. Then instead of being so independent and trying to do all on my own and hitting my head against the wall either way. And that's the choice that each one of us needs to make. Yes, this was not, like I said before, this was not even planned. No, I did not just come here and this because I wanted to, be live. I was recording a course, and this is maybe my, out loud reflection, if you want. But I know that someone else needs to hear this. That all your delays have a purpose, have a reason. All those doors that have been shut out your face and shut down and closed, all those happen for a reason. All you can see is right now, but God sees, the full picture. And I can't remember who says this, but I've heard this said before, that even when we feel like we didn't get what we wanted, that promotion or that job, or the place that you applied for, the house that you put a bid on, whatever it is that you wanted to get, you didn't get. Sometimes those moments where we feel like we've been rejected, it's actually God's protection. And I can go on and on with even just with that alone. Like, I think, if there's so many times in my life I feel like, okay, what is this door shutting? Where's this one not working? And then at the end, when it worked, was something that I couldn't see. Even this place today where we live at, like, I had this conversation with my pastor through text just last night. We've been living here for 6 months, and I would have never, ever, ever in my whole life thought about living in Dover. Honestly, I didn't even know Dover existed. Let's just be honest. Into a few months prior, and everything, all the places we applied, we tried to move into, didn't work. Like, some of it was just ridiculous. Some people won't return my calls, or if they return my calls, it was already taken. Or you go, and then everything looks good, and things are not, and then it's finally time to move in, people just disappear out of the surface of the earth, like, just not responding to my phone calls anymore, although we're like at the last day for us to move in. And then this, at the end, this was the only place that worked at the end, that was available and open door for us to move in when we needed to move. And honestly, it was because there was nothing else. I'm like, okay, God, I've been praying for them, for a place. I've been praying for, and looking and praying, and all the doors been shut. This is the only door open. My kids need a place, so we're gonna live. They're gonna move there. And guess what? Just yesterday, as I was telling my pastor, I said, of all the places I lived in this country, as much as this is distance from friends, and I know little friends complain like, now you're so far and all of that, and I get that, but of all the places I lived in this country, this is probably one of the most peaceful places that we lived at. Even when I own a home, it didn't feel this peaceful, and that's a whole different story. So in that moment when I was looking for those places, for a place to live, I couldn't see the full picture. I couldn't see what all those doors were shut, but I needed to be here. And even to give you more goosebumps, you probably, like I say, you probably think, okay, sure, I didn't know you were this spiritual, because I usually don't do this kind of stuff with, out here. People who work with me one on one, who know me personally, get to see this side of me, but it's not always something that I do publicly. But even to give you more goosebumps or more chills, this house actually, before we even moved, my son, who's 6, back then he was only 5, 5 and a half, or 5 3/4, as we often said, he drew a picture of a house that looked nothing like a house I ever seen. I'm like, it's like, Mom, this is the house we're moving to. I'm like, oh, okay. And like, the mom and me wanted to cheer him up. And then I'm thinking, what kind of house is this? This would look like a house. Because most houses I looked didn't have that kind, didn't look like that. And guess what? When we moved here, even when we first looked at it, I didn't even think about his picture. It wasn't after being here with me for a month. I'm like, I think this, we tried to find that picture that my son drew, and we couldn't find it. I should have kept it. But he drew this very square house. It was a two-level house, very square. It's just like, no two, so no, rectangle. So like two big rectangles on top of each other. And honestly, if you drove by a house, that's exactly how this house looked like. It's a stone house. It looks exactly the same. And yes, in his little 5-year-old mind, it's thankfully, somebody has some kind of enlightenment. God showed him where we needed to go, and I didn't even see it. I was pursuing all the other hustles that looked like what I wanted. That were closer to friends, that were closest to my job, closest to all the other things that I was doing. But since we've been here, it's been such a blessing. Not just the peace that we have here, that we don't have a landlord that never, we don't have any issue. Like, literally, it feels like we own the place, because we get to do the repairs when we need to. I mean, if we need something, you come and do it. But we have so much freedom here, and compared to all the other places we had, that it's just amazing. But then on top of that, it's just all the blessing that we had since moving here. The people we met here, the connection that we had here, not just here in Dover, but even in Maryland, now that we're so close to Maryland. And all those things, I could have not seen that, right? We don't see clearly. We will never see clearly. And as long as we admit that God is the only one who sees the full picture. If he's the only one who sees the full picture, then it is in our own advantage to trust him. And even when things don't work right, don't go the way we expected, to trust that he's going to repurpose them, and make even those things work for our good. All right, guys, I know I've been talking for 24 minutes. I'm going to sign off. But I hope this encourages you that your delay, your disappointments, your frustrations, yes, even lost keys, are all things that God can use. And not just use, just for his glory. Yes, for his glory, but also for our good, for our benefit. So stay encouraged. All right. God bless.